Hey guys, how are we doing? It is Martin Cliffe here. Welcome to another video on my channel. And my Guitars video series has been quite a popular source of content over the last few years, really. I think I started in early 2017 filming it, and it's achieved a ridiculous number. But I wanted to give an update because obviously, not all of those guitars have necessarily stayed with me. I have talked at length a little bit on this channel and also on my lifestyle channel about moving towards a more minimal and intentional lifestyle from just coming to the realization that I have too much stuff. So as part of that, I have been moving stuff on. So I'm going to go through the list of guitars that you've seen in my guitar videos just to explain what the situation is, really. I apologise, I'm having to refer to my iPad just to try and keep them in order, so I will have to look away from the camera every once in a while. But there was a guitar that never made it into the series, which was my Dean Evo XM, which I had back in the UK before we moved to Hong Kong. That, when we moved, went on loan to a friend, one of my ex-students, and he's been, caretaking that ever since. So, over 5 years now, as part of the process of clearing stuff out, and because I haven't played it for 5 years, he's been looking after it. It was only a cheap guitar, but I gave it to him. Just as a thank you for looking after it, and again because it had never even made the series, and that's not the only guitar I gave away. So my guitars, episode 1 was Beastie, my black Ibanez JS 100, and that since summer, in fact since possibly sometime before that, has been being looked after by my mate Rob, former bandmate, and one of my closest friends for a long time. We've known each other for over 30 years, and at the time he didn't have an electric guitar of his own. He plays mostly bass, but he did say that he would be interested in having one. So as I lent it to him on an extended loan, and again it was his birthday a couple of weeks ago, so I gave him the guitar as part of that. So that guitar is gone. Then my guitars 2 was my Ibanez BBM1 Ben Bruce model guitar, which was one of the first guitars I bought in Hong Kong. It was fairly affordable. Never properly bonded with it, if I was to be honest. I tried it in a number of ways. I tried different pickups in it. I tried it with Nashville Strong. It actually made the Thinking Tree on a couple of tracks. There was a Nashville Strong guitar part. But yeah, I only really used it for one gig, which was my brother-in-law's wedding. And as part of that celebration, Eva and I decided to give that guitar. I decorated it up in like gold and silver Sharpies and stuff, and then with wedding messages, and we gave it to them because both Edwin and Sarah, his bride, play guitar, so we thought it would be a cool little memento. So that has also gone. Guitar number 3 was of course Blue, which is still here. Gone through several changes over the years, but Blue is still very much here and still one of my number 1 guitars, and is going nowhere. The new humbucking pickups have certainly improved the versatility of that in terms of what I need in a guitar, and also now I've fixed the wiring. I'd had a loose wire when I did the wiring for the pickups, but that's going to be one of my main guitars in standard tuning. So yeah, that's going nowhere. Guitar 4 is Snowy. Snowy is back in the UK at my parents' house. The amount of wiring needs a bit of sorting out because something went wrong last time I changed pickups and resoldered and stuff. So the status of that guitar at the moment is to be determined. To be honest, I will probably keep it just to have a guitar at my parents' house in the UK, and because it's been so customised over the years that it would be difficult to sell. I don't know who would be interested in it, and I don't have anyone specifically that is like, oh, I can give it to X, because all the people I know who play guitar I've kind of given guitars to who, I think would appreciate them and would get something out of it. Guitar 5 was my Ovation 12 string, Standard Elite I think is the model. That is here in Hong Kong, doesn't get played. That will be available for sale as soon as I get around to sorting that out. Again, it's been in my possession twice. It does have some sentimental attachment, but at the same time, it doesn't meet the purpose of a sentimental attachment worth keeping, in the sense that doesn't really help me remember my grandmother. It was just that I bought it with my inheritance from her, and I'll never forget my grandmother anyway. So, having a guitar that symbolises that isn't necessary, I guess. So yeah, that is a guitar that will be moving on, because there's no point in me keeping stuff that I don't use. Guitar 6 is Prince, my purple Sir S4. That is likely to become available for sale. Again, not 100% certain on that, but likely to be moving that one on, just because I don't need 4 Sir standards, and while it's a nice guitar, it's the one I bonded with the least out of the 4 I have, so it makes sense that someone else can enjoy that. Number 7 was it is my blonde Fender Telecaster. That again has had a little bit of customization, but not too much. That is definitely going to be available for sale. Looking to move that one on. Again, just haven't bonded with it as much as a couple of the others, and it's easier to sell because it's the least weird of my tellies. Guitar 8 was my first Gibson Les Paul, my first Gibson. I called it Balmoral. That is staying. That will be my guitar in D tuning. I'm pretty sure one of my Les Pauls will be anyway. I'm going to be updating and vintageizing, I guess, rather than modernising. But anyway, making changes to my Les Pauls, and that will be a series that's going to come in the next few weeks on this YouTube channel. But yeah, that's staying. Guitar 9 was my Yamaha APX 500 acoustic, which was the guitar I bought pretty straight away after I came to Hong Kong 5 years ago. Cheap acoustic. I have donated that to my church because it's useful to have. I mean, to be honest, it's been at the ministry centre at church for the best part of a year anyway. So I've just handed that over because it can be used there by anyone who wants to. Guitar 10 is my blue Yamaha TRB 4.2, which I am unlikely to sell or move on in any way. It does have a certain amount of, even though I don't play it very much anymore, I'm using it for teaching, so it's useful to have a 4-string bass for that. So that is likely to be staying. 11 was my red TRB4, well, my first red TRB4 that somebody is interested in buying at the moment, so we'll see where that goes. Otherwise, it will be moving on in some way. If my friend isn't able to buy it, then I will sell it by some other means. Guitar 12 is my lap steel. That's a difficult decision. That will be determined at a later date. 13 is Mikey, my black standard. It's in the other room. That is becoming my main E-flat guitar. I need an E-flat guitar for a couple of contexts that I play in. That's staying. 14 is my Ovation Pinnacle Deluxe. I don't play it. It's at my parents' house in the UK. I am going to be looking to move that on again, just because it's surplus. 15 was my 7-string Ibanez RG7321. That again I have given away to a friend. 16 was my blue Fender Telecaster, which keeping for the moment. It's always good to have a Telecaster. Probably going to keep that long term. 17 was my little travel guitar, my Yamaha APX T2, which strangely enough is the video of my guitar videos in recent years that has had the most views out of any of them, and that's going to go. I'm going to sell that because again I don't need it. 18 was my black Fender Strat. Now I'm hoping, I have a friend who's interested in one of my Strats, whether it's that one or the other one. Whichever one he doesn't buy will be for sale. 19 is my Yamaha APX 503, my natural finish one. That is again going to become available, possibly not until I replace it, because I need an acoustic steel string guitar, but I want to get a slightly higher up one. After selling 5 guitars, I want to have a slightly nicer one to replace one of them. So yeah, that will be available. 20 was my Mike Lull 5-string bass, my lovely green thing with the bird's eye maple. That's going nowhere. Obviously it was my 40th birthday present, and it's the bass that when I play bass I play. So yeah, going nowhere. 21 is my Yamaha TRB4 fretless. Again, it's in the UK at the moment, so I can't do a lot with it just now, but that will be for sale because it's surplus. 22 is my red Sir Standard Pro. Again, keeping that. That's my HSS guitar. Again, my other guitar that I keep in standard tuning, that I play all the time. So that and blue will be my main guitars, and then Mikey in E flat. 23 is my Sunburst Telecaster with the rosewood board. Again, it's in the UK. Likely to be selling that. See, I'd say I need to decide which guitar I'm going to keep in the UK because I only need one. 24 is my other red Yamaha TLB42, which again is surplus to requirements. May keep that just for the time being while we're a little bit uncertain about where we are in case I get called to play bass somewhere in the UK, but we'll see what happens with that. 25 was my fretless 5-string Yamaha TLB. I'm going to keep that for the moment just because it's useful to have a fretless on hand just in case. I know just in case is a difficult word, but to be honest, with the amount of stuff I've got that I'm looking to minimise, one fretless bass that actually is vaguely useful is the least of my worries. 26 is my green telly. I'm keeping that because it's unusual, and I can make use of that, and I've customised it in enough ways that it would be possibly difficult to sell, and also again, my tellies are like for using for alternate tunings, open tunings, that kind of thing. So that's staying. 27, episode 27 was my Sunburst Fender Strat with the Power Ferro board. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know what's happening exactly with the Strats, so I've got a friend who's interested in buying one of them, but which one we'll wait and see, and the other one will be available for sale because I don't bond with my Strats at all. Episode 28 was my Yamaha NTX classical guitar. That's staying because I need a classical guitar, and I actually quite like that one. And 29 finally is my other Les Paul, my Light Burst or Honey Burst, whichever one it is. Again, keeping that probably going to be my opening guitar, my slide guitar. But either way, I like having a Les Paul. It's a useful option. And so, yeah, so 30 guitars down to potentially 12. I think if I can achieve that, that's pretty good going. As I've explained, I need a range of guitars for the work I do, but I don't need this wide a range of guitars, particularly the amount of duplicates I have. So that's the sort of situation as it stands. I did have another Sir on order, which thankfully I was able to cancel because I didn't need another one. I'd ordered it because I thought it might be cool. But then, as I say, this realisation that I just have too much stuff hit me like a ton of bricks. So this is where I'm at. So I just wanted to update. This is kind of the end of the My Guitar series. There will be another episode when I get the new acoustic, but then a lot of the guitars some of the guitars are currently no longer owned by me, and some of them certainly won't be by the time I own that with any luck. So thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.